A debt-free life sounds like a dream, right? The kind where you wake up to birds singing, your coffee already made, and most importantly, zero credit card statements in sight. But here's the good news. It doesn't have to stay a dream. Whether you're drowning in bills or just tired of your money disappearing, think of this video as your jumpstart to a debt-free life. Hey everybody, welcome to Thrifty Budgeting. Let's jump right in with the art of learning. Before you can live a debt-free life, we've got to deal with the facts, right? And that means getting clear on where your money's really going. So you can start this off by reviewing your bank and credit card statements from the past month. Look and see what you're spending on the most. Is it food, subscriptions, shopping, gas? Seeing it in black and white is really eye-opening, and it helps you be able to spot the habits that are keeping you stuck. Start small and learn the basics, things like how interest works and how quickly it can snowball if you're only paying the minimum payments. Now, we're going to talk more about that later, but just knowing it can make a huge difference. And you don't need a finance degree to figure this out. Just curiosity and willingness to dig in. Because once you know better, you can really do better. Now, once you see where your money's going, the next step is figuring out why it's going there, because that's where the real control begins. Which brings us to know your personal values. Living debt-free isn't just about numbers. It's about knowing what matters most to you. So before you can even build a budget or think about cutting up a credit card, take a minute out and ask yourself, what do I really want life to look like once I'm debt-free? Is it the peace of mind that comes from knowing your bills are paid on time? Maybe it's having more time with your family because you're not having to pick up extra hours just to stay caught up. Or the freedom to travel and enjoy without the weight of debt hanging over you. You see, when you know your values, you give money a purpose, and it becomes easier to say no to impulse buys when they hit. So instead of asking, can I afford this? Start asking, does this support the life that I want to build? That simple shift can really change everything for you. Money should serve your values, not distract you from them. So take inventory of what matters and let that be your compass. And when you have a handle on that, it's going to be a whole lot easier to avoid temptation. Okay, let's be honest. Temptation is everywhere. From online ads that make you think, oh look, I need that 3-in-1 breakfast sandwich maker. I'll only use it once, but I need it. To one-click shopping that makes spending feel a little too effortless. Or those limited time deals that pop up because you're convinced they were meant to be. Now, whether you're trying to live debt-free, avoiding temptation is just as important as sticking to a budget. Think of it like this. If you were on a diet, you wouldn't hang out in a donut shop, right? Just apply that same logic when it comes to your spending. Now, to make this easier, you can start off by doing things like unsubscribing from those marketing emails that scream, just for you, 40% off. Also, delete those shopping apps from your phone and avoid browsing just for fun. We know where that leads. If a certain store is your budget's kryptonite, steer clear of it. Now, that doesn't make you weak. It makes you smart. These out of sight, out of mind tactics might sound simple, but they really work. While you're on the budgeting bandwagon, you'll want to break up with interest. Now, if there's one thing that takes a big chunk out of your money, it's interest. Credit cards, loans, and those no payments for 6 months deals that sound helpful but end up costing you double in the long run. So let's put that into perspective. According to Lending Tree, if you carry about $5,000 on a credit card with a 20% interest rate and only make the minimum payments, it could take you 19 years to pay it off, and you'd end up spending about $12,700 total. That's roughly $7,700 in interest alone. Think about it. That's money that could have gone towards savings, vacations, or paying down other bills. The goal here is simple. Stop feeding the beast. Avoid new debt wherever possible, especially the kind with sky-high interest rates. And if you already have some debt, start tackling those credit card balances first, because the moment that you cut out those high rates, you take back control. And that's what living debt-free is all about. Making your money work for you and not the other way around. Now, another simple way that you can stay in financial control is to use cash. There's something powerful about handing over real money instead of tapping a card or clicking a button, because it forces you to take a quick pause. That little moment to ask, is this really worth it? I mean, sure, it may feel a bit old school, but cash has a way of keeping your spending real. And that's something that digital apps just can't do. When you start using cash, try the envelope method for groceries, dining out, or fun money. Now, if you're not familiar, it's simple. Set aside cash in labeled envelopes for each spending category. And once that envelope's empty, you're done spending in that area until it's time to refill it for the next pay period. Now, this is not about cutting yourself off from spending altogether. It's about making smarter choices with the money that you already have. Now, another thing that you can do to gain financial freedom is to bill yourself. Sounds crazy, I know, but think about it this way. Most of us are great at paying other people, the landlord or the mortgage company, the phone provider, the streaming service. But when it comes to paying ourselves, we somehow forget. So instead of forgetting, treat yourself like one of those bills and pay you first. Think of that payment as your savings, because you're literally billing yourself for your own future. So set it up just like you would any other bill. Pick an amount that's doable, aka realistic, then schedule it and pay it consistently. Whether it's $5 a month or $50 a month, it adds up over time. The goal isn't perfection, it's consistency. Now, if you're serious about building a debt-free life, an important step that you need to consider is to anticipate expenses. Being caught off guard financially can hurt, and it's one of the biggest traps that leads to debt. I mean, a birthday pops up, the car needs new brakes, the electric bill spikes in the summer, and suddenly you're reaching for the credit card. But it doesn't have to be that way. When you anticipate, you prepare. So start looking at your spending in seasons and not just weeks. What's coming up for the next month or even 3 months from now? Are there holidays, renewals? Maybe your car tag is coming due. Planning ahead turns emergencies like these into expected events, and expected events into manageable expenses. Now, you don't have to predict everything. Just prepare for what's likely. When you build a little breathing room into your budget, you protect yourself from surprises that derail your progress. And that's how debt-free living becomes less stressful and more sustainable. Now, while you're pulling all these financial ideas together, be sure and bargain together. A debt-free life doesn't have to be a solo mission. Whether you're married, sharing bills with family, living with a partner, or splitting cost with a roommate, learning how to bargain together can make a big difference. When everyone's on the same page financially, your money goes further. So start with honest conversations about your goals. Ask, what are we trying to achieve? Where can we cut back as a team? Maybe it's swapping takeout for home-cooked meals, or keeping just one streaming service you both actually watch instead of juggling two. And if you're flying solo, you can still bargain together. You can do this by trading tips with friends, joining swap groups, or planning bulk buys with neighbors. However you do it, saving with others stops feeling like a sacrifice and starts feeling like teamwork. And to tie your debt-free plan together, you want to simplify it. Simplifying goes beyond trimming bills. It changes how you handle your money altogether. When things are organized and clear, it's easier to stay consistent, pay off debt faster, and actually see your progress. Take these steps and start start living your best life ever. Until next time, stay thrifty.